What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Live. The house is empty, so it's time to turn it the hell up. Okay? So, how are you guys doing out there? Today, we are talking about how to recession-proof your business. Because everyone's scared. Everyone's freaking out. You get all the pundits and the Elons and the Bezos, and everyone's laying people off, and they're saying they're doing cutbacks, and they say they're not doing cutbacks because they don't want anyone to freak out. And you got everyone, at least that I look up to, mentors, are all saying we're doing cutbacks, we're trying to save money, we're trying to just figure out how to navigate what's coming next, because no one knows. So what do you do in these times? Do you cut back on everything and become like a tortoise and just try to stay the course? I argue it's time to get louder than ever. Why? Why, Jim? Why would you say that? I got to save my shekels, buddy. No, I get that. I totally respect that. But empires are built in recessions.
100%. It's proof of this, Jim.
There's empires are built in the worst times in history. Why is that? Costs for things go down as far as advertising because there's not enough supply versus demand. I'm sorry, there's more supply than demand. People are cutting back. So the ad costs start to come down. What do people like the Grant Cardones, the Tony Robbins, the Russell Brunsons of the world start doing? They start flopping down big bucks. Why? It's a land grab. It's a land grab. It really is. It's time to double down. But what do we do instead? We say, oh, you know what? I just hired that VA. She's really, really good. He's really, really good. But I don't know what's coming next, so I got to cut back. I got to make sure that I have enough money to cover what's coming next. But in reality, if you get quiet, if you're not out there on a daily basis in front of your people telling them, this is what I do, this is how I can help you, this is the pain I'm going to take away, what happens? They forget you exist. You don't exist, because the fact of the matter is, and this hurts a little bit for some people, more on the egocentric side, that people just generally aren't thinking about you. We like to think that someone out there is like, oh, I need to go look into Jim. You know what, Jim? He made that one piece of content a while back, and he hasn't said anything since. But man, I just really need his service. I'm going to keep that in my mind all this time, and I'm going to reach out to him. Said no one ever. No, it's not going to happen. You have to be there. You have to be ready when they are. And you have to let them know that you're here to help them. You're here to get them where they need to go. Because if you don't, unfortunately, in the world we live in, you don't exist. Sucks, but facts. So where other people are cutting back, I am here to tell you, double down. This is where you need to be testing aggressively. This is where you need to be which is what we're doing, by the way. We're going to do a check-in with where we're at with the Joshua Center's leads that we have going on, which I'm super excited about. We are testing. We're testing hard. We're testing different shows. I'm coming out with a new show very shortly that I'm almost done with the graphics on. And I'm bouncing back and forth between the short show, Eat My Shorts, and just shorts. So I don't know, but it's going to be a show all about shorts, all about short form content designed to make short form content. And we're testing it. Molly has 3 shows right now. She's going full beast mode, showcase, live show, and there's another one. I forget the name because it hasn't been released as of yet, I believe.
Live show was fantastic last week.
Live
by the
show
way.
is insanely good.
They had the sales ninja.
Insanely good.
It was, oh my god.
And we're practicing. I'm testing out different VSLs. I'm testing out different ads. I'm testing out different written content, even though I'm a video person, because I'm going to be the first one to say, if it doesn't work, don't beat it like a dead horse. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the amazing Wow Factor Tammy Fink. And I did never introduce John Dargy. I got to introduce John, Web Meeting Pro. He will make your studio look like that.
I came in on a dead horse. What is up with that? You bring me in on a dead horse.
There was a dead horse, but now it's gone.
What am I going to do? I'm going to remove it for you. We're good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, what John does is for sales professionals, for people in the world of getting in front of customers, getting in front of prospects, pre-sales, and the like. Don't show up like a hostage video. You can show up like John is right now and already have authority from the moment you turn your camera on.
Amen, Jimmy. Amen.
And of course, Tammy Fink with the Wow Factor. The Wow Factor is all things graphics and amazing things that you can input into your branding to make sure it comes to life so that you represent yourself consistently across all channels, and that people know when they see something, they go, that's Tammy Fink. That's John Dargy. That's that beard guy. So welcome. I'm so happy that you guys came on. So today we're talking about recession proofing your business. What can we be doing right now to get ready for what we're being told? And it's self-prophesizing, right? And self-perpetuating, because the more people say it's coming, the more it will the more the fear factor goes up, the more people sell out of the stock market. Even if it's not an actual thing, it's self-perpetuating. The more you talk about it, the more it gets to be real. And there's a lot that's bubbling. There's bubbles in the world. There's lots of bubbles, all kinds of bubbles. Like before it was the real estate bubble. I don't know if you could narrow it down to even 5 bubbles right now. We have so many bubbles. Get your bubbles here.
It's a bubble bath. It's a bubble bath out there, brother.
Bubble bath. Exactly. Hashtag bubble bath. If you guys agree on that. Phil Gordon, thank you so much for watching. Scott Lucas, really appreciate you being here. And for the other people, please leave a comment. We love them. And if you guys have any questions, we will answer them immediately. And this is an open show. The whole point of visibility hacking and Friday Night Live is to show you how you can become visible, get visibility to your message, your movement, and your mission in a noisy marketplace. That's what it's all about. So now we're coming into a recession, whatever that may look like. I don't know if this could be gigantic, massive, soul crushing. We have to go get bread from the buildings, or if it's going to be like, this sucks solid for 8 months. I don't know which one it's going to be. Neither do we. No one does. And that's just the way it goes. Yeah. Hashtag bubble bath. they're enjoying the bubble bath. So what do we do? Do we scale back? Do we save our shekels? Do we hide the money under the bed with our shotgun like Grandpa used to do? What do we do? Do we fire all of our content creators and stop putting out things, stop running ads, and just hoard our money and work on referrals? No, I argue no. And the reason is because it's a land grab. Empires are made in depressions, in recessions, in times of turmoil. There's a land grab. And yeah, you can be a rainmaker. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right, Phil. I couldn't agree more. And I'm here to tell you this time to double down. It's time to test. It's time to find the right messaging for your movement, for your people. We're testing ads right now. I'm testing out written content. I'm a video guy. Doesn't matter. If it works, I'm doing it. And by being in this group, you guys get to see what we're testing and what we're working on and what's working and what isn't. So, welcome. Absolutely welcome. And I would love to hear from John and Tammy. What do you guys think? What do you guys think it's time for? What do you guys think is an approach that may be worth testing right now? Or are you battening down the hatches and putting on your tinfoil hats?
I think I can tell you, like, so there's so many things, Jim, but the
So
thing
many
that
things.
so many things, Jim, but I think there's two sort of overarching themes that resonate exceptionally well. And this is coming from, my full-time day job experience, etc. More with less, more with less, more with less, more with less. So whether you have people, you have resources, whatever, this is the story in these times. Now, this is the story all the time. Corporations are always looking, people are always looking for more with less. But now is when they really pay attention. And so my money would be on more with less. And also the other thing to keep in mind, like now you kind of mentioned it, you said empires were built. Did a frame one time for some corporate storytelling and realized, I don't have the chart, I have to go find it. I'm sorry, Tammy, I'm not prepared as I was to show you. I don't have a photograph of this particular one just laying around, but there's an actual chart where you look at the number of patents. So if somebody's looking for a great story, go check this out. The number of patents filed going back to Civil War. Every time there's a recession, there's a spike in the number of patents. And so more with less, innovation, speed, that's where it happens. So just be ready. If you got an idea, go for it.
I love that. So what's the wow factor standpoint?
Let's get started, shall we?
What's a wow recession look like?
Here's the deal, Joe. I've been in business for myself since 2004. So I've seen some things, right? I went over the corporate wall in 2004. I've dabbled a little bit in the brick and mortar since then, but mainly my focus has been online. And what I've seen happen is just like anything else. We're entrepreneurs at heart, right? And so looking at that, we're going to find the next thing, right? Like if this doesn't stop it. We had COVID, we had big plans. I was working with another lady and we had big plans that we were going to take a bus, right? And go from, not like Greyhound, but like actual, big, we're movie star buses. And we were going to take that and go from Texas to Toronto and work with entrepreneurs along the way. We had 20 days that we were going to do it in and actually show up in 15 different cities, major cities across the US. All of this was in the planning stages. Everything was coming along nicely. And then COVID hit. And we said, it'll be over in a couple of weeks, right? Like we have no idea. So we postponed it.
It was 14 days to stop the spread.
Right? Like it was a whole thing. Like we did our part. So, we kept going and kept going. So finally we just said, we can't do this right now. This is just not going to be something that we can plan. So COVID comes up, we're pivoting with clients, doing all the things. I wrote 3 books during COVID because we had all the time. Right?
Even though you keep mentioning it, it still blows my mind that you were able to do that.
It's there.
Absolutely. Oh, tinfoil hat. All right.
Oh, the tinfoil hat. Dang it, I missed that. I was going to do that. She took my outfit.
This old thing.
But, as we're looking at it, what is it? What are we looking at for that next thing that we're going to be doing? And I think that it is diversity in what we're banking on, what kind of things that we're putting out there. And then I also think that one of the things that I've put out there with my clients all the time is how you do business is more important than what it is that you sell. And so when you're looking at this wow factor, that's going to help you to stand out in whatever economy we're in, because it's going to be something people actually know, like, and trust you. And I know that that's, marketing cliche, but if you're building relationships, if you're putting that out there and you're actually taking charge of what you're doing in your business, right? And not doing swag. Like I always call swag stuff without a goal, right? So if you're investing in things, invest in a plan. Invest in, you have a strategy around everything that you do, and you do it for a reason. And you need to be watching your numbers, right? You need to be paying attention to a lot of that stuff. You need to be balancing the books. But at the end of the day, you need to be building relationships, and that's going to take you further than anything else, regardless of what the economy looks like.
That is the mic drop moment, I think.
Legit,
It's
right?
Relationships.
Legit.
That
Beautiful.
is everything. That's everything.
It really is.
That's the entire reason that Molly and I exist on the online scape world. You know, what do you call it?
The metasphere?
Online scape? No, don't play into Facebook's mission.
Webosphere?
Webosphere. But the whole reason we exist is because of relationships.
Yeah.
That's it. We put people in positions to where they could do better, meet cool people, form their own relationships amongst each other outside of us even. But we became connectors and networkers. And not for the purpose of how many cards can I get? I should put out a fishbowl. No one cares. It's genuine relationships. It's real connection. It's knowing that someone actually cares about you. And I know for a fact that everyone on here right now and everyone that watches this show cares. Because we don't want people in here that don't care. But it doesn't resonate. So naturally our content attracts those people that are heart-centered, that want to make a change, that want to move the world in some positive direction, that want to take pain away from people to enrich their lives and to let them find whatever freedom means to them.
100%.
And when you keep making those connections, things do fall into place. And I know that's an amorphous kind of a rah-rah statement. Yeah, okay, everything's I'm gonna make my 10K a month if I just keep making relationships. Yeah, you will. Truly.
I just want to say it, but I'm watching it happen in real time in places. Like you just watch certain things, and even since like, I don't know, last 3 months, 4 months, you're just watching a person go from here to here to here, and it's 100% what you guys are saying. 100%.
That's what it's all about. Molly, welcome.
Hey. How are you guys?
Connection Queen is in the house.
Oh yeah, sorry, got to put my crown back on.
You got to put on your tinfoil hat.
Got my tinfoil hat.
So Molly, talk to us. What is, from your standpoint, obviously we talk about this, but from your standpoint, is it time to batten down the hatches? Is it time to get on your tinfoil hat and get on the ladder outside and take up Scientology? And like, what's it time for?
It's never a good time to take up Scientology. Just putting it out there. But it's the thing is, like, the market will always ebb and flow. This is the reality. It's just like rivers. Our rivers will find their own paths. They will change the landscape. It will happen. If you focus all of your attention on what's happening outside of your business, how is your business going to continue to function? Instead, just continue focusing on your friggin' business. Like, if you're and I say that recognizing that my business compass, I don't take giant, unnecessary, uncalculated risks. That's not part of what I do. So just kind of, I say, do what you do. Because I disagree that this is the time to start creating content. I completely disagree.
Please dig into that.
Help us understand. Yes, please.
You should have been creating content long before today.
Granted, but
those relationships are not going
to grow trees 20 years ago. But the next
those pieces of content, those moments of connection.
She's right though.
Even before creating content, those moments of connection, those messages to your friends and family in the algorithm feeds the algorithm even. Like, don't just leave your accounts dead. Don't just try and be everywhere at once, because you're never going to be in one place at once. Focus on running your business, being in connection with your people at all times. Don't focus on what's happening in the market. It doesn't matter how much money is in your bank account. It doesn't matter if you're running your business by yourself off of the extra little cash you can put away from your day job, or this is your full-time thing. If you want your content, if you want your connections online to actually come to fruition in terms of ching ching bank account impact in your business, in whatever that looks like, you need to focus on those relationships at every level, at every moment you have with your people. So I say, don't let this recession, not recession. A recession is just honestly a definition with a number attached to it. If there isn't 2 consecutive periods of decline in GDP or whatever, then it's not a recession. If there's one and then it goes up a little and then it goes down, that's not a recession, but it still has the same kind of impact on us. When the economy is flatlined, that also doesn't count as a recession, but we still feel it. So don't let these words change how you're running your business. Focus on your business. Let the economists do their thing, but focus on what's happening. Where are your resources going? What resources do you have? Resources can be money. Resources can be time. Resources can be physical items and things you have at your fingertips, like cameras or microphones or Britney Spears moments. It doesn't matter. Figure out what you have access to, and how you can utilize your relationships and your connections within your network to be able to accomplish that. Also, secret, your network is not just the people you know. It also includes, Tammy, you know this, all of the people your people's people know, and all of the people that your people's peoples know. And, you know what I mean? That's what I say.
James says, gotta love when you're looking for friends to add to your list and they haven't been active in a year and 6 months because COVID related. But it's been a while. James Johnson, welcome, man. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. It has been a while. I'm rocking the lefty hat, which is the I'll fix it in post. I love that. He sent me this.
I want one of those.
Shout out to Lefty. Shout out to Lefty. Famous words in video editing. Mostly from people that don't edit video. We'll fix it in post. We don't have time. Just we'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post.
But you know,
never a good decision.
I love that hat, Jim. I really, really do. And here's the deal, because I'm going to throw this out, because I had my swag comment earlier, right? But this is something that you absolutely relate to, because it is who you are, right? And sure. I got the opportunity, to talk to Russell Brunson about the Funnel Hacker T-shirt, right? I tell that story all the time. But I got the opportunity to talk with him, and that is the piece that most people miss when they are looking for those ways to connect. It's like, how can you actually connect in a way that matters, that they get, right? It doesn't matter if you have to explain the hat, right? If you have to explain it, the idea is that you wear it, and when people who you want to connect with know what that hat means, then you've built a connection, right? You've put something in it because they get it. They have the behind the scenes, they get the inside joke, they get the pieces that you're building in, and it's no longer about what brand you're slapping on a hat.
Facts.
Right? So just throwing those out, look for those other ways, look for those pieces that we're actually doing and connecting.
James, are you going sleepy bye?
No, I'm on my break and I'm kind of hiding out.
you look like you're literally hiding right now.
No, I was working. So it's so fucking hot in Toronto right now. Like, today I worked my ass off. So I'm like, the air conditioning in the garage is not working. So I came in my van and I put my van on, and I don't care if it costs $2 for gas. I'm running my air conditioner.
Yep. Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Damn the man.
It's not wrong. We live on the same meridian, man. We know what's going. We know what's going on. It's been nuts.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yo, guys, the reason I'm late is because I was lighting bonfires in the Toronto heat.
Nice.
Sucks.
Why would you do that?
Because I love teaching children how to be fire
Don't
starting.
lie. There was no children around. You're just doing this in
100%.
squares.
You know what it is though? Like I do this all the time, almost every weekend. Except at the end, there's some sort of delicious, grilled treat that goes with it. So it kind of becomes part of the ritual. But if you didn't have something like this, there's no way.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to show you people how to make s'mores in the microwave. Like, okay, come on.
No.
It can be done. It is so cool. It is so less messy, and it's still yummy delicious.
We've done them
And they're single serve.
And single serve.
All right, let's rein it in. Everyone loves s'mores, and obviously Molly likes setting public fires. But tonight we're talking about how to recession-proof your business, or if there's even a such thing. Does it even matter? So, like, speaking to what Molly's saying is, more of what you're doing. Keep doing you. Keep doing whatever you're doing. I don't agree with the don't start content now.
Can I say something?
I do think that you should have at least one platform of content going out right now. If you haven't started content yet, I think you should take one content, one product, one avatar to 1 million. I think that's what you should do personally. So I think it's a time for testing, and which we're testing right now. I think it's a time for relationship building, big time. Networking, but networking with a purpose. Not just networking because someone's active in someone else's group and then say, oh, I see you're active in blah, blah, blah's group. Here's my product. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, there's different strokes for different folks, but the thing is they all work to some degree. Some work less than others. Some work great for others and not you. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't work as a whole. As an example, does a application funnel work for everybody? No. If you're a plumber and you throw up an application funnel, people are going to laugh you off the call. What am I applying for? Just fix my plumbing. Just fix the plumbing. I'm not applying for shit. Just come out and fix the plumbing.
If that's the service you offer. But you could be a plumber that works on only the biggest of best jobs, or a corporate kind of building plumber. And therefore you only work with a certain type of clientele who might need to apply.
Would an application funnel work on a Tinder date?
Absolutely.
Jim did say something about testing, so maybe
we'll test it. We're going to test it. Okay. We're going to test it. What's funny about that is there was, what's her name? She did the 30 days interviews. She was the host. What's her name?
Bailey Rickard.
Yeah, Bailey Rickard.
She made an application funnel for her dating thing.
Yeah. That
she put on, not Tinder, but one of the other ones, to where you had to go through a process before you could actually speak with her. And it worked. Brilliant. She got a bunch of dates out of it. I don't think that she ever got anything lasting out of it, but she got a lot of press out of it. People being like, is this the new way to do it? What's that?
Yeah, she did the summits.
She switched from summits to dating apps?
No, she just did it randomly.
No, that was just a fun thing she did.
Oh, okay.
It was just a fun thing she did. Just a side thing. This is not like a thing she does. It's just one of the things.
Yeah.
Well, look at that as a side thing, Jen. Do you have any side projects going on that are just completely out of the realm of what we would think that you're involved with?
Let's see. Visibility hacking, VSLs, stripper, and then I work for Nissan. So no, all pretty standard.
Pole dancing, nothing in that. Just the strip.
No, I just strip. There's no pole involved.
Okay. Just checking on that.
Why have the extra step? Why have the extra step?
Was this thinking, okay,
The whole thing, right? Well, I'll tell you something that I've been doing that I started in, and it's because I had a client. Right, this is how we make some of this stuff. I do welcome boxes, right? I do welcome boxes for my clients.
Awesome, by the way.
Put that together for them to be able to send out with their virtual retreats and all the things. So I've had people ask me, do you do subscription boxes? And I've said, no, that's not really in my wheelhouse. I am now doing a subscription box service for, are you ready for this? Pickleball. We're doing
Ooh, yeah.
What's pickleball?
You want to
Oh,
know what's going to happen in this
t-shirt.
recession? It's going to
Those
be pickleball.
T-shirts.
It's
Right?
going crazy
I love
right now.
it.
What is pickleball?
doing
What was
it.
pickleball 5 years ago? I don't know. Pickleball's blowing up. Wow.
Pickleball has been around since the 50s. So, you know, as a designer, it's the most activity I can have that least looks like exercise. So I'm all in.
That's awesome.
But, you know, I'm starting that. That's what we're doing this next month. It's a little bit of diversity in what we're doing. Now, I'm learning from it because I hope to maybe I'll do boxes for other people who want to have a subscription service, but I need to understand it. And for me to understand it, I've got to have my hands in it. It has been an amazing, it's a whole other topic. We can have a conversation around it, but it's been amazing the things that I've learned by doing that, because now it's something that I love, but I'm not emotionally attached to it. And it's changed how I do content. It's been amazing. I have a video, never happened before. I have a video that has almost 10,000 likes in the last 3 weeks.
Nice.
And
Well
I've
done.
never
On
done that on
pickleball?
anything else that I've done that really matters. But
So
pickleball
Phil
shirts
Gordon,
really
who's
touches
watching
me.
with us, and Doug Boughton's also watching. Ace Ready, thank you guys so much for watching. But he goes, "What's pickleball? Can you give him like an elevator pitch on pickleball?"
Are you kidding me? And I wish I had. I need to go grab
Well, hold
one.
on,
That'd be
ladies and
great.
gentlemen. We have joining us he earned his
Oh,
Doug Boughton.
What's up, everybody?
Doug E.
I don't know if you
Fresh.
guys could hear me or not. Hopefully,
Yeah,
you
you sound
Absolutely.
lovely.
can. Yeah. What's
We're
up?
ready
I
for
thought
the
I'd even
late
up the
night radio
number
show
here.
with that voice, buddy.
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing
Are you
good.
live?
Amazing, man.
Yeah, welcome. So tonight we're
having
talking
me.
about how to recession-proof your business. Is it even worth doing, or do you just do more of the same? Stay the course. Right now, Tammy is telling us about something that she's doing, which she takes her boxes that she creates for businesses, and she's directing that towards a subscription service for pickleball. And we had Phil Gordon, who is actually from your group as well, Doug, ask, "What's pickleball?"
Pickleball. Let me just say, this is my favorite quote of all time. Pickleball. We're making tennis courts great again.
Basically.
Oh, you got to give them a little more than that. What's pickleball?
Pickleball. It's a ball. The ball itself. It's a game. The ball itself actually looks like a wiffle ball. It's got a little bit more heft to it, but it looks like a wiffle ball. Actually,
All of it is recycled.
right.
All of it.
The paddle. It's like they took all the things and made them one animal. The paddle looks like a giant ping pong paddle, but it's kind of in the
I
shape.
have seen these
Right?
people.
It's kind of in the
I have
shape of
witnessed
a
this.
racquetball. Remember, we had racquetball, but it doesn't have a net. It's solid like a ping pong paddle. The court is laid out like a giant ping pong table, and you play it in singles and you have doubles. It's been around since the 50s. That's what really kind of blows your mind.
How high is the
All
net?
of a sudden we're hearing about it, but it's because people couldn't have the activities and stuff for so long. This is something that everybody can get involved with. And
Well,
it's
James
amazing
says,
exercise. You can
how
totally get
tall
your
is the
steps
net?
in.
Is it
You-
literally
you-
just a tennis court?
It's-
that they've
Yes, it's a
converted?
tennis court.
Yeah.
Recycled. I told you, it's all
a tennis
recycled.
court. It has a net, just like
It's
a
all
tennis
recycled.
court, but it's smaller. And the balls don't bounce like, I don't know if you've played. I played tennis. I hated tennis. Tennis was like one of those things you just spent more time chasing the balls.
I was trying to impress a girl, and I bought a tennis racket at a pawn shop. It lasted about a month.
Of course you did.
I sold it right back to them for about half.
But there's people in their 80s. There's people in their 80s
Not how to
playing
recession-proof
pickleball.
your business.
And there's kids playing pickleball. And there's like all of these different age categories when they do tournaments and they do all of these things, and it's global. So it's just this really cool sport. So I'm doing monthly t-shirts that have these cool sayings. They're always like, there's these, like you said, with your hat, Jim, it's that kind of deal where there's specific lingo around the sport. There's specific things that if you get it, right? And so you can actually connect with them on a whole different level.
Nicholas Pylon says they're building pickleball courts all over the place. Fastest growing sport in America.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yep.
What?
There's one down the street from me that just opened up. It's a coffee shop / pickleball court place, and my friends go every Tuesday.
Like I would never think like
Why wouldn't it be?
off a coffee shop. I'm gonna open a coffee
Yeah.
shop.
It goes with
You know,
everything.
it
It's like the
needs
new Jillian Fries.
Yes. They have chicken places. They have
Nice.
chicken places that are like chicken and pickleball. It's like a whole thing. and you can go and eat and watch other people play. You can play
Interesting.
rounds and stuff. It's like I said, it's something
I
that
love that
neighbor
you're
got me
taking
involved a
advantage of the
couple years
trend.
ago.
I love it. I love it. So I hope that you keep on updating us on how it's going for you, just like we're updating people on what we're trying out right now, like what we're doing with Josh Centers and the different techniques we're using. And yeah, I want to hear all about it.
Tammy, where did your video where was it published that it got 10,000 views? At Facebook?
It's Instagram.
Instagram, awesome.
And I shared it, into some other people and some other pickleball groups, and a couple other places and stuff with it. But I've never had that kind of, craziness. And literally, it was something with text. I did the video. Of course, I'm dabble in all things graphic design, right? But I did a picture of laid the phone down in the courts. We had mobile nets. I moved the net over the top of it, so I had this really cool shot of the net expanding over it and a ball dropping on the ground or whatever, and
Nice.
set up music with a little bit of text on it, and it's like, that is freaking crazy.
Well, I'd
That's
love it
great.
if you
Commerce
could
products.
link it in the comments so people can go check it out. If they want.
Oh, let's do that, because let's see if we just can't blow this up.
Let's blow up let's just get nuts on
You just-
pickleball.
You're just hanging on, man. That's blowing up by itself.
Let's
It's
just
unbelievable.
It is, man.
It's like a atomic chain reaction that's unbelievable, really.
I'm excited
Doug
to-
said it because it's like what do you want? Do you want a car? We'll give you a pickleball court. Like they're giving this stuff away like toasters. It's unbelievable.
People
It's
are
re-
doing it though. I've been to several people. You know how people put in a pool? That's like the next thing, is they're putting in pickleball courts, and they have them in their home. It's like
so bizarre
crazy.
to me, but I love it. I absolutely love
Okay,
it.
they run pickleball at the place that I work. We have
Of course they are.
12
Why wouldn't they
pickleball
be?
courts at the same time. Hey, I work at a community center. It's fun.
Oh yeah, you're good. Okay, sorry.
And when it's pickleball time, it's drop-in time, and say it starts at 3:00. People show up at 1:00, and this is the middle of the day, and they literally line their bags up down the hallway to make sure that they get their spot in line. Make sure that
Wow.
they're they get. It's intense.
It's like putting
So
your
is
loony on the
pickle-
pool table.
Oh,
So is
but they
pickleball-
well, there's this whole paddle system to make sure who's next, and they'll steal
Really?
each other's paddles and move them around, and it's
Not
crazy.
So
It's
is
so
pickleball
intense.
to
Canadians
tennis?
don't do that. What are you talking about?
Is pickleball to tennis like what fouling is to football and bowling? It's just like the drinking version.
You would think so, but no.
No.
I'm telling you,
No.
I think it's the name. I think that you were right on the money, Jim. It's all recycled, but they called it pickleball for some reason. And it just what is this? I will go steal your racket. Let's go do this. It's fun. It's coming.
It's fun.
Because there's less moving around than tennis, right? So it's not as intense, but it's still, and it's a plastic ball, so it you don't have to be the most athletic person to play it. But yeah, it's still a good, easygoing game. Yeah.
Awesome. I am going to make a promise to you guys that I'm going to do one pickleball game.
I've just been
I'm
inspired.
going to play it
Take it with
somehow.
me.
I've seen them playing when we go to softball tournaments. There's always the tennis courts to the side.
Just like
And I've seen them with these ridiculous paddles. I just thought they were confused. And I made fun of them. I'm not going to lie. I made fun of them. I go, oh, look at, they're weird. They don't have it all together. But now I understand they're pickleball players. So next time I'm going to just knock on the fence and see if I can have a round.
It's not an Olympic sport yet. I will say that, but
You said yet? It's going to
think
happen?
It will be. I think it will be.
Bro, they got skateboarding in, so why not pickleball?
Sure.
Hey, whoa. Watch it on the skateboard, all right, bud?
Well, look at the guys that
Pump the
that
brakes
won
on the skateboard.
skateboarding. They didn't even complete a complete circle, turn, landing, whatever. You win the gold medal for crashing. Great job.
So, Doug, welcome. Today we're talking about recession proofing your business. What are you doing? What are you pivoting? Are you doing double down more on the same? And recently you actually went in a slightly different direction. You were already teaching the things in your free group, but it didn't have the name. So I think it'd be cool to hear about your name change and kind of what your thought process is for going into whatever comes next.
Yeah, it's a great question. I know this is all kind of in the thought process the past few years of in the making. So it's kind of before what's happening right now. But for me, it was like, this actually started back. I was at a mastermind event in Boise, Idaho, for the One Funnel Weight Challenge. So I placed top of the leaderboard for that affiliate contest, and that was awesome. Totally unexpected. I think what gave me the advantage there, I was brand new, but most of the affiliate competitions are like a month or, you know, shorter. And this one was 6 months long. So a lot of the top dogs came in, they promoted it, hit their list, and moved on to their own thing. Of course, I didn't have my own thing. So I went all in on that for 6 months straight. And that's what I think gave me the leg up to get to the top of that leaderboard. And anyway, we're at the mastermind. Stephen Larson's there, Colton Krodinger, Alex Elliott, Dave Gambrell, Rachel Ashley. A lot of the top affiliates at the time were there. And I remember them all presenting, and we all had to present, and that's kind of what the mastermind was about. I spoke on starting your own affiliate program and what I was doing to leverage my own products at the time. And I remember Steven going up and just saying something along the lines like, if you don't have, or if you're just an affiliate marketing business, you don't really have a real business. And I'm like, oh, like that's me. Like I don't have a real business. And I remember being at that event, and we had to go up on the last day to share our biggest takeaways. And I was sobbing, and I'm like, I'm crying for like Russell's, his team, Steve, all these people. I'm like, this is pathetic. But they all came up to me afterwards, like, you're having the passion meltdown, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to have your level 10 idea figured out. And I probably still don't know what that is. But I always knew I wanted to pivot because my Facebook group name at the time was Sales Funnel Mastery, 5 Ways to Monetize ClickFunnels. I was like a piggyback business to ClickFunnels. Still love ClickFunnels. Still want to be one of their top affiliates, especially as 2.0 drops. I'm really excited to get more involved there. But I'm always thinking, like, when it comes to my business, what are we doing? And that's when like the Full-Time Freedom brand was born. And I start really thinking about, if I could have my business fully automated, things are delegated. We got our team now. It's like, what do I want to be doing? What do I love? And it really comes down to content creation, coaching, just creating in general. So yeah, I have shifted my marketing online to more content creation. And really now it's just, how can I widen the net? So for me, it was just Facebook groups. It built me a great business with our Facebook group, and I'm not going to stop that, because now I'm like, actually, how do we drive more traffic to it off of Facebook? Because Russell said, you know, one platform, one message, one offer, and I listen to what people say that have done really well. So now we've done those things. We've built our business, and I can now take on other platforms. So just launched my YouTube channel last week, and I'm super pumped about that. So I think when it comes to recession-proofing your business, it's really about building community. First and foremost, build a community, document your journey. Even if you don't feel like an expert, who can you bring in? What can you say? Like, hey, I just read this book. I just did this course. Here's what I learned. Here's what I'm doing to implement to my business. And I think it's now like taking that community and how can we get more growth there? And I think for me, it's going to be branching out to cast that wider net on social media, like YouTube and shorts and the things that are working today. So yeah, I would say community, connections, relationships. Like we're all hanging out right now on a Friday Night Live. This is awesome. I love it. So yeah, just more connection, more community. And doesn't matter what happens. If you have a loyal following, they're going to listen and watch how you pivot and take your advice.
I love that. I love that. And it's also, I think, there's a part of it that's you're setting the example too, right? If you kind of shell up and are not getting loud, then the people that are looking to you, if they are really following you, are going to take that as an example. And the thing is what we always talk about on this show is like, if you had the cure for cancer and no one knows about it, does it matter? I argue no. You might as well have done something else. Make yourself a birdhouse. It's you got to let people know what you do and how you do it and how you can do it for them if they so see fit. So I think that's awesome. I think that's great advice. James, welcome as always, my friend. I hope you're happily hiding. So tell us what's on your mind as we go into whatever comes next here. Like I said, it's self-prophesizing. It's kind of self-perpetuating as well. The more people talk about it, the more people kind of get behind the idea. And I think now people are getting much louder about it. So I think it's going to start the snowball rolling. And something will happen, whether that's big or small. Something's going to happen just because of that snowball rolling and getting bigger. The more people, like the Elon Musk say, I'm going to lay off a bunch of people because the recession's coming, the more people are going to believe the recession's coming. And Bezos and pundits and government and investments and, you know, the stock market's going to react and all that kind of stuff is going to happen just by people saying it's going to happen. So, James, what do you think, man? What's on your roster?
A program. I've been surveying people in my group, and they want to figure out how to get more influencers and just do interviews, right? Mm-hmm. And how they can make that, you know, to grow their group that way. Because, you know, I've interviewed some pretty big people, and I seen what Daniel Das did, and I see what RJ Ahmed's doing. He's just he's trying to get Russell on his 100th show. He's 9 episodes away, so I'm in his program. He launched a program a while back for like a $97 thing. So it's kind of like a grandfather thing. And he's been messaging all of us to try and get Russell's attention to get him on for his 100th episode, because he's basically interviewed like all of Russell's basically students, basically. So
sure.
It's a great thing he's doing. But I've seen what he's doing, and I'm kind of thinking of the same thing, like with the people in my group, and they're asking the same thing, like, how do I get these people on my show? Like, because I interviewed Marley and Steve for the first time.
Which is awesome.
People like, James, that is a huge achievement. Like, to be their first interview as a couple, that's just friggin' awesome. And, you know, those two are probably the biggest. I already interviewed Marley before that, but I Dream 100 them pretty hard. So to get them as their first interview as a couple was pretty exciting. So now I'm just trying to figure out on how to turn it into a program. And, you know, I've had some people already say they would do some master classes, kind of like with Doug, when you first launched your program way back when, getting Catherine and Andrew and a bunch of others to do master classes in the program. So I'm kind of thinking of that style, because I know I'm not the expert in everything. So that's what I'm just kind of messaging people in my group and seeing what they need help with. And then when I get a more better idea, then I think that's probably the idea that I'm going to go with.
Nice. Yeah. So like more of an authority program, aligning authority or mirroring authority or something along those lines. Cause that's what naturally happens when you interview somebody is people see you on the same plane as who you're interviewing. That's how like Mark Lack exists in this world. Mark Lack, I got to know really well when I went to a Billie Jean event in San Diego. First and only time I've been to San Diego was a Billie Jean event. And I absolutely adore Billie Jean. He's actually the reason that I'm in this world. Billie Jean is, not Russell. Billie Jean was first. And I met Mark Lack at his event, and Mark Lack said, "Hey, want to know how I got Grant Cardone on my stupid interview show?" This is literally what he said. Like I'm verbatim saying what he said on stage. And he goes, "I just told him I'd get him 1 million views on our interview, and I sent him a money gun and said, this is what it's like to work with Mark Lack." That's when the money gun first came out. And Grant Cardone took a video of himself in absolute bliss doing the money gun. Because, I mean, it's Grant. So he was just like, yeah, like just loving it. And he did a video of it, posted it up. So that started getting some attention. And he was like, absolutely, we'll do the interview. 1 million views guaranteed? Yes. What did he do? He just paid for it on YouTube. He just paid for views. And he said it ended up costing him like $2,500. He got Grant Cardone. So now what is he going to do to everybody else? Hey, Grant Cardone came on. Are you coming up? Can you imagine how much more leverage he had in those conversations? That's why X's and O's did what it did. It's because I said, Marley and Rachel came on. Are you coming on? And they go, what the hell is this show? Why don't I know about this show? Akbar Allen Dean and Omar Ladder are coming on. You coming on? No, seriously, what is going on? Where has this show been? Are you just hiding? Like, people are sending me these messages like, what is X's and O's? And it's because I'm constantly leveraging my last win. So what did he do? He said, I took the interview I did with Grant Cardone, and I sent it to everyone and their brother and guaranteed them 500,000 views because they were all on a tier below Grant Cardone. And he ended up getting almost 80% of those interviews, paying half. So it ended up costing a neighborhood about $10K to get 50 interviews in the bag. Now he's got all these names. And next he approaches Tony Robbins' crew. They ignore him completely, blow him off for like, I think it was 2 or 3 months. And then he ended up sending a special gift, which was a bobblehead, which hadn't really been done yet. He was sending special gifts, which this is Chris Voss's specialty, by the way. We're going to have Chris Voss talk about the magic of gift giving, forming relationships, and return on relationships, ROR method. Absolutely incredible. Dear friend as well. He lives local here. But he sent a gift, which is a bobblehead of Grant. So this is before it was like everyone and their brother has a bobblehead of them now. Like Steve's got one that he always has in his videos of him kicking, like his photo he had taken at FHL. And he thought it was awesome. So he said, I'll give you 5 minutes. He got 5 minutes not with Tony, with his number one. So he's on the phone with his number one, and he has essentially an elevator pitch. And he says, I will give Tony 3 million views on our interview together. The interview will be 15 minutes long, and I'll come to you. Wherever you want it. I don't care if it's in the men's room. He got it. Tony did almost an hour. But he promised 15. So, I mean, he literally started from nothing to Grant Cardone, and now he has easily a $20-30 million business that has been generated out of the audiences that he crossed out of all these interviews. And he was forming a list all the time to get notifications for when the show would go live. And now he's doing JVs with all these people too, and he's doing constant affiliate marketing. So there's always a way. You just got to be a little creative to get there. So is that something you should do now? I don't know if it would work as well now. It'll probably be more money. Ad costs are much more now. So maybe $3,500 nowadays is $5K. Maybe it's $6K. You have to determine whether or not that's worth it in your business. I got the Entrepreneur Magazine logo. Is it worth it to you to have that authority? Does it matter that much to you? To some people, it matters a ton. Like, oh man, you've been in Forbes, you've been in Fortune, you've been on this, you've been on that, you've been on Fox News, you've been on the morning show of this, Good Morning America. Oh, they must be legit. Let me hear what they have to say. In that case, yeah, it's worth the money. But if you're in a business that's more referral based, more trust, know, like, and trust based, stuff doesn't matter as much. They want to see what have you done? Let me see what you can bring to the table. Like in my world, it's all about the real. Show me what you can bring to me. They don't care where I've been, what I've done, who I've talked to. Show me the goods. Show me you can deliver me a badass video and tell me that it's made at least 6 figures, at least. Other than that, we're not talking. That's my industry, is the video industry. And it's just different strokes for different folks. So as far as recession proofing going forward, I wouldn't focus on those things. Entrepreneur magazines and things like that, the real flashy stuff. I'm going to personally focus on, with Molly, of making what we have the very best it can be. It already is pretty damn awesome. Our Live Academy Accelerator is pretty damn awesome. I'm going to toot my horn. I don't care. Toot. Toot. So it's a great program. And you may be saying to yourself, well, what is it? Tell me all about it, Jim. I will. Don't worry. Keep your pants on. Or if you're at home, keep them off. I don't care. So what we do, I mean, do you think Doug's wearing pants right now? You silly people. You're so silly. He's not there. So you want to get attention to your mission movement message in a noisy marketplace. How do you go about doing that? You have to get clear on a couple things. You have to get clear on your avatar, on your branding, on how you present yourself to your market. What is your market? A killer offer. And then you have to have a way to get attention on this beautifully packaged offer. How do you do that? Well, you create content. And what's the easiest way to create content? To have a live show. That is our argument, and that is what we are damn fine at. Damn fine. I can't keep a straight face through the whole thing. Usually I can hold it for the whole thing. But I'm so proud of what we've been able to do. And the last group that went through absolutely murdered it, killed it. John Dargy being one of them. Sanika Lee, Janice Wong, Jay Lee, absolutely murdered. Got great shows out there, getting attention to their mission, message, and movement, and getting leads into their business of people that trust them and now want to work with them in some way. And it ends up being a conversation about, well, what does it cost and what does it look like to work with you? And at that point, you can work with that. That's something you can manage. But inbound leads is super important. And so instead of killing yourself over content creation, we say, go on and host your show and go back to running your business. Go back to serving your people, forming those relationships, and doing what you do best in your zone of genius. And that's what we fight for. That's why we're here. So, Molly.
Yes, dear.
I would like to talk. Totally caught me off guard. What would you like to talk about? No, not what would you. We're going to talk about. What are some content things that people can do that are not show-based right now? If they just want to get started, if they want to dip their toe in the water and they want to dabble, test, what are some things that they could try out today?
Oh, man. Okay. So here in the visibility hacking community, we laugh and we joke and we make fun of lovingly because we all love it and do it. The walking content. Get your friggin' phones out, go out for a walk, go enjoy this lovely summer. It might be hot, stay in the shade, whatever. Turn your phones on and record yourself. You don't need to press the live button if you're not feeling it. Press the record button, save it on your phone, post it another day if you want to, but collect those stories. And from a psychological point of view, like what's actually happening in our brains, when we're walking around, when we're moving our body, when we're engaging in activities, this is why standing desks are really good. It actually helps our brains process information better. It helps us make better, stronger, faster connections in our brains between different areas. So you're going to think more creatively. You're going to draw those connections in your own stories. You're going to and get in the habit of doing this, my friends. Just go out there, go for a walk every day. Heck, join. Hey, Jim, I'm making an executive decision. We're going to start up Team 30 again, and we're just going to make Team Loud a thing. We're going to start creating our group. So if you feel like you're like, I'm not creating enough content, Molly, I want to do this walking video thing, but I need a group. I need some help. I want someone to hold my hand. I want to know that other people are doing it so I don't feel like I'm weird doing it. I don't feel awkward. I can be part of a community. Well, we have this little thing we call Team Loud, where we bring all of our people together and we post the same kinds of content, encouraging each other, letting each other know, hey, I tested this. Today, we're all going to test the same thing. Report back, see what your results were. Let's see in different niches, different industries that we're all in, what's working, what's not. So if you want that kickstart, if you need that hug, that community to help you get started, I'm going for a walk probably after we go live. I'm going to post my first video tonight before my head hits the bed. And I hope you guys join me and do it too. So if you want in, hashtag Team Loud in the comments, whether you're live, whether you're on the replay, does not matter. Come join us. It's just a little Facebook group chat. It's wonderful. It's wonderful people. Just saying. That's my piece of content.
I love it. All right, Tammy, what do you think?
Oh my
What can
God.
someone post right now that they can start testing and see if it works?
I
So I
love
think a lot of our people, especially from polls that we've done and feedback that we've gotten, is just don't know where to start.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. I can remember the first time and I'm outgoing, I mean, like I'm kind of shy, but in an outgoing way. But it took me a lot to do the Facebook Lives, to push that button.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was so stressed over that, and worried about it, and like talked myself in and out of it 30 times before I actually went live the first time. And so, yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing, right? It's a real struggle. And so it is those pieces. I had somebody tell me one time, when you're an introvert, the cool thing with introverts, and one of the reasons they do so well on live video, which you wouldn't think, is because they don't play off of other people's responses or emotions to them. Whereas I need to have this feedback, right? I love being able to laugh and talk and, know when something lands or if it lands flat. I like that feedback. So that's something different for me. And so it is more of a challenge to do the Facebook Live by yourself. So I love that.
I like it. And Mr. Fresh, Doug E. Fresh. For those of you guys that don't know what that is, YouTube it. You can thank me later. But so there's a couple different formats that you use that seem to work really well. I'd love to have you back to talk further about like what you use Group Track for and with your content. But in this particular instance, do you have any kind of like a, hey, try this out?
Yeah. And by the way, when I mentioned the walking, I think it's called like a Jumbo walk or something like that, right? And I started doing these with Kelsey, not every night, but when we try to talk, she helps me in my business as well. She's like operations and systems. I just don't like that stuff. So I just shut down and get distracted and start looking at other things. We went on a walk the other day and it was like 5 miles and we just let it all out. And like, I just had these brilliant ideas coming. It was so good. I should have filmed it. But anyway, content wise, yeah, Somali, thank you. Yeah, it's so good. Content wise, yeah, I think it's like really forming a system, which might sound weird to content. Like I say, just do it, but like, what can you do to stay consistent? Can you post a question on your feed every Monday? That might be a question that only your ideal customers would answer. If you help group owners,
I like that.
I can come up with 52 questions to ask group owners right now, and I've got content for a year every Monday that's consistent, right? Like, what's your group name? How long did you start your Facebook group? How many members are in your Facebook group? What's the name of your Facebook group? Right? Who's going to answer that? Group owners, right? So ask a question on Mondays. Wednesdays, you could tell a story. These are probably a little more difficult for others, but you don't need to know who you serve or what do you even do online, but just having a story, not the whole story, but I'm talking a paragraph following Russell's 8 questions for the Epiphany Bridge script and just share where you're at. Like you could probably write a story inventory of 52 things and title them and come up with these 52 hooks. And now you've got a year of stories. You could tell one per week. Those are the most effective. Those are where I get the most engagement on. And people really get to know, like, trust me, relate to me, and builds that emotional connection that you're going to need if you want to make a sale and an invitation to work with you further. Right. So I think that written content can be just as great. But once you get the confidence and consistency, you got to go put yourself out there. When I first started, here's some tips for people like to get started with content. I went live in a mentors group that I felt like I could trust and was very uncomfortable. And he gave us 3 simple questions to answer. And I went live. I broke out in hives. I was freaking out. And I was like, you know what? That wasn't too bad. I know I almost fainted a few times, but I said, I know I have to get uncomfortable if I want to grow. And I just know that now, like when I feel uncomfortable, it means I'm growing into something new. So I said, I'm going to embrace that. And I read the 30 Days book, which is somewhere behind me here. And I went through the One Funnel Away challenge. And I was not an expert. So what I decided to do was watch that training and read a chapter a day. And I would basically bring my biggest takeaways to my group, 15 minutes. That was it. And show them what I plan to do with that information and how I could implement that one thing into my business in the next couple of days. I just did that for 30 days. And I felt like by the end of that, I was pretty decent starting out. And I actually packaged up all those short presentations as a program that I gave away as a bonus for anyone who used my affiliate link for ClickFunnels to sign up for it. So it actually became a product. So
I love
I
that.
think that's it. It's just like, if you don't feel like an expert, you don't know what to talk about, go read a book that you really love and just tell people your biggest takeaway on each chapter a day and how you're implementing that into your life or business. And that could really be a great start for you.
Excellent advice. That is excellent advice. Another one that we hear a lot is, no one wants to hear my stories. I'm boring. My stories are boring. I feel boring. Like, I don't even like flavor. Like, everything's boring. And so what I usually tell them is, well, tell other people's stories or give your opinion on someone else's story. So there was a series that I got this idea from, which was Gary Vee essentially commenting on his own content from a year ago. Yeah. So do I still feel the same way about this? When he was like, Periscope is the way to go. Invest everything you have. Sell the house. And so then he would do a video that was like, Periscope sucks. Sorry, guys. So, he would do like essentially a call and response. So he'd play part of his video and then he would say, this is how I feel now. Or you can say, we consume content all the time, right? All the time we're consuming. So like I watch a lot of Alex Ramosi stuff. So if there's something he's talking about that I feel like I can.
Oh, the suspense.
It's killing me.
Oh, man, the suspense. Jim.
And that's why we don't order pizza on Thursdays.
Oh,
well,
that was like the perfect moment because it sparked so much in me. Like, Doug, thank you for sparking my imagination and what I need to do with my content. We have a second Jim.
Oh, a second Jim. Camera angles.
I don't know what the hell happened. My old computer just turned off for a Windows update. But if there's something you can elaborate on off of other people's content, do it. So like if I thought I could add something to Alex Ramosi's stuff, if I have a differing opinion, I would play a snippet of it because you can't play the whole thing. Play a snippet and respond to that. And that would be my content for the day. If I'm like, Alex Ramosi, you're out of your damn muscly mind. I don't agree with you. So then I would give my opinion. That's my content.
Yeah.
So now I'm also aligning with Alex Ramosi. Steve talks about the way that he got a hold of Frank Kern and Alex Ramosi. Now they're really good friends. Alex Ramosi and his wife, Layla, and Marley and Steve are really good friends. The reason that Marley and Steve decided to go in together on one business together is because of Alex and Layla. She told me about that, which I think is awesome. So cool. How did they get in contact? Because Steve started making a ton of content about Alex. How did he get in touch with Frank Kern? Frank Kern he just started talking about Frank Kern like all the time. And eventually it got in front of Frank. And he kept doing outreaches, and eventually he accepted the call because he recognized the name of someone that kept on talking about him. So that's really it in regards to that. From my standpoint, is that I would take content that already exists, that we're already consuming, and I would try and add to their stories with my own.
Hey, Jim,
word.
Something else. This is great, Doug. I really appreciate it.
We're going to do it this
really got me to thinking too, and he's gone.
He's back.
That's why we don't order pizza on Thursdays. So one of the things that I know I've done to reach out, because people want to know about you, right? Then you may feel like you're not interesting, and I always give everybody the rock star thing, right? When you've delivered, when you are, a major rock star, you've sang that same song 30,000 times. That your people, when they show up, they expect to hear that one song, that hit, right? Whether you love it or not is irrelevant at that point because it's bigger than you. But people do want to know. They want to hear that one hit wonder. But something that I do to reach out to try to build a connection with, even through the DMs and all of that, which again, Doug, this has given me a new idea with it, but I share eight things you probably don't know about me that are just wacky, weird things that you probably don't know. And I talk about that. So, I mean, that's at least 8 pieces of content right there where I can tell the backstories of the different things and stuff that you don't know. I'll give you an example, and this isn't even on my list, but do you know that I was a 7'2" cardinal in my senior year in high school, and have played the Easter Bunny? However, there's no documentation to that. But people don't know. They want to know, what kind of weird, quirky things do you do? What are kind of some of those fun things? And you can share those behind the stories. You don't think that it's anything. We have tinfoil hat. I want to have tinfoil Tuesdays, right?
I was a cocktail style bartender.
Right?
We've seen the pictures.
Quit looking through my stuff.
You posted them.
Quit looking through my stuff. Mind your business.
That's hilarious.
That's a really good idea, and you could probably come up with so many different ideas of those. And like I'm thinking right now, like, oh, nothing comes to mind, but now, like, oh, now they're hitting. Then you write down one, and they keep flowing, and it's such an easy thing to be able to create. And I think the most important thing that does really create the identity connection with a lot of people that probably have done something similar, and then they're going to be more willing to open your emails, read your content, watch your videos. So
right.
That's really
because
cool.
they know you're willing to be human, right? Are you willing to be human in this relationship? And what does that look like? And it is those pieces. And I have had people say, okay, I wouldn't, even on Clubhouse, I've posted it on Clubhouse on my intro and all of that. People are like, I would never read through 8 things. But there's like a couple of things that people like always come back to me on. Number one, everybody wants to know about my ice cream button on my microwave. It's my favorite piece. I have an ice cream. I know, right? Like, that's my favorite. I know, Jim, you're looking at it, aren't you?
I'm gonna go check my microwave after this.
Asking.
Not every one of them has. I think mine was a Samsung that had it. But you can get the recipe, right? The dial-in numbers that you can put on your microwave. It matters. And the movies that I hate that I'll never watch again, right? I'll never watch Of Mice and Men. Oh my gosh, that makes you cry. There's so many different things that you can share with people. Me and my husband know all the words. Are you ready for this? To Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I am not proud of this. But I'm just telling you.
What's more surprising is I know every word to the soundtrack for Wicked.
See? Like
I do.
That was not what I was expecting.
I know every song on that thing. They're really good. Popular. I want to be popular. Anyway, so let's close it out on that.
I think so.
I think that landed this plane.
Yeah.
Can you just keep singing that, and we'll just end the show on that?
Legacy fam.
Hey.
Had to rock it just in case. I was already wearing it, let's be honest.
Does that mean you never take it off?
I have so much swag here in a pile that I just pull from. There will be at least 2 loads a week that I do that it's all swag shirts and hoodies. Doug's nodding his head. Yeah.
I mean, that's all I own. I don't even know.
Right. What are
We
clothes?
should share one thing on our desk. Share one thing on your desk that everybody would think is weird.
Okay. I got mine right here. I got a black rock.
Yeah, I love the black rock.
I mailed this out to my clients in a letter, and when they feel the lump, they want to open the letter. And it's a reminder to paint your shiny objects black and keep this in your desk and focus. And I talk all about it. Yeah, I love that, Jim. So
There you go.
This is from Nellie Corriveau after she came on the show on X's and O's. She sent this to me. It was just in a little tiny letter, and this was it. And it said, "From Nellie, thanks." Because she loved my profile pic so much. Now we get to Molly. What is happening right now?
I have a green screen situation happening, but this is a like floaty inflatable drink holder.
Drink holder.
No, it holds your drink. And when I made my first million, my coach sent this to me and told me to go on vacation.
Someone should
like
send
it.
Molly a inflatable pool for her desk and just have her drink floating next to her.
There
Just
you
a
go.
small one, just a little small desk
Yeah,
pool.
just a little. That's cool. I love that. On it. On it.
On it.
I'll
It's a
dip my
thing.
toe into it.
On it.
Yeah,
And then Tammy could send her your muted mug so she could hold that in her floaty.
right.
Your
I
muted
use
mug.
this all the time.
I
This
bet
is like the best thing
practical.
ever.
That's so good. Yeah,
You're muted. What?
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 hold it up.
Yeah.
That was a fun thing. That's cool.
Awesome. I actually like that. There's a lot of weird stuff on my desk now that I'm looking around. There's a lot of weird
But
stuff.
we're relatable, right? We're building relationships. That's what we do, people.
Like I have
Well, I
an
think before
iPhone. I have an iPhone that I bought for the single purpose of being on Clubhouse.
I did that.
Hey
That
guys,
I
was
literally used twice.
I was just on Clubhouse last week and I couldn't get to unmute because they actually changed where the mute button is. And the person I was interviewing had to come over because she lives next door and like tell me how to unmute. It was super embarrassing. But I was on the
no.
I haven't been on so long. I don't even know how to use the app, but it's still going. It's still going
I
strong.
put my hotspot on my phone. I went to Target, bought the cheapest iPhone I could do. I was tired of waiting for them to say it's going to come out on Android any minute now. I went to Target. I bought the cheapest iPhone. I did, I swear. Bought the cheapest iPhone I could get a hold. Went out into the parking lot, immediately hooked it up, hotspotted my Android so that I could get on Clubhouse. And 2 weeks later, it became available on Android. But still, I was there. Cutting edge. That's how we roll around here.
Yeah, Tony Caggiano, if you're watching out there, shout out to Tony. He was like, "You got to get on Clubhouse.
You just
gotta." And he amassed like this massive following on Clubhouse. And so I was like, "All right, well, you listen to Tony. I'm gonna go buy the damn phone for Clubhouse." I used it twice. Total. I don't even think it's charged right now.
I wonder how many people converted to iPhones just from that one app. That's so
I'm sure. Yeah, the used phone sales had to go through the roof with that.
Sorry, what was that? Is that how business works?
Is that how it works? Yeah, I think it is. So, if you guys have some questions or suggestions of what people should be doing during the recession to recession proof, which is weird wording, but your business during the recession, upcoming, whatever it may be or develop into, let us know. We want to know what you're up to. We want to know what your plan is, what your master plan that you're going to unfold is, because it might help somebody else. So thank you so much for coming here tonight. Thank you for everyone that was actually on the show. Thank you for everybody that was viewing out there. We absolutely love you guys. And Molly.
Well, my friends, you know, it's coming close to the time where we have to say goodbye. But before we do, we will selfishly plug Live Academy Summer Camp Edition. Join us. It's Jim. It's me. It's we got John. We got Lefty on short content. We have an incredible community of students that I am so excited to build shows with, build what we like to call connection machines. It's the first step in honestly building an empire. And man, oh man, there's so many fun things that are happening. If you want to join us, get in touch with one of us. You can let us know down in the comments. You can join us at visibilityhacking.com/let's go live. And we will see you in Live Academy.
What was that show that ended with the Skinnamarink Dinky Dink song?
Sharon Lawson Brown.
Dinky Dink,
Skinnamarink do.
I
love you.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one.
And join me Mondays for the live show, Tuesdays for the showcase, and back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, live here in the Visibility Hacking community for our favorite show in the entire internet, Friday Night Live. We will catch you next time, my friends. Peace.
everybody.